All right. Hello, Blue. This is actually take two. First one failed miserably. Anyway, my plan is to just watch your video, react to it live, and say some stuff, and then watch it again, but slower and pause at moments that I want to like elaborate a little bit more on. So I'm not gonna waste too much time and just start the video. Also, don't expect any editing to this. I don't edit stuff. I don't even record videos in general, usually. Alright, so decent kickoff. You didn't have to flip on that touch, and your teammate gets beaten minutes ago. Okay, my encoding is bad again, apparently, according to OBS. Whatever, I'll just deal with it. Okay, kickoff. Boost is priority here. It's good. Good touch. And just get an empty goal for it. Nice. Oh my god, I forgot about the anthems. And the in-game music as well. That's pretty funny. Decent kickoff again. Kinda lucky that didn't go in, I guess. It's hard to see them. They both whiff. One's back. It's fine. Get the boost back off is good. You're a bit too close to your teammate here. You should probably back off. I don't know why you pushed up there, because your teammate is in the air. You really don't need to go. Because you overextend your team. Corner, just go to net. Stay behind your teammate. Yeah. This is fine. Good. Good try. Obviously needs a little bit of work, but that'll improve as you play. A little bit close to your teammate once again. That makes it so you can't really get a good touch on it because you have a very low amount of time to react to the touch. Good patience. Unlucky on the touch though. That rotation was a little bit off, but that's for the second watch through. Okay, just stay patient. Fair enough. Doesn't matter. You could have been faster to that and beat your opponent, but as soon as you notice that you're not fast enough, it's not a good idea to keep going. But yeah, again, second watcher. Again, too close to your teammate. Yeah, now you have a little amount of time to react. They miss, luckily. Okay, teammate has. Good try. It's a good bag. Maybe? Or close. Teammate has. He backs off. It's fair enough, he has no boost in his last pack, so don't go for that. Yeah, nice. Your teammate's in the wrong position here. Although, he kinda missed. I guess in these ranks you can be more patient and just wait for them to shoot. It's a little bit risky because you give them time to get a good shot, but in general in these ranks they will not get a good shot and you can get an easy save. Rough line. Not even a rough line, just rough recovery, I mean. Has good 50. you're again too close. Your teammate has no room to do or to play anything into midfield for you because you're just too close. But your teammate scores, I guess, with a little help of the opponent. Decent kickoff. Boost grab. Net, nice. You could push on that, maybe. I mean, I guess that's just... What a save. How even? A good save again. Nice. Those were good saves. Step back. Okay, nice. You should be careful with those touches. But it works out. Nice up. Free ball? Not close. You shouldn't be on this side because you can't really do anything. Yeah. And you got kind of lucky with the way your team touched it. OBS keeps yelling at me for having too high settings apparently for my PC. I mean, my laptop has thermal issues, that's the biggest problem, actually, so I need to fix it. It's not difficult to fix, but, you know. Nice. That should be good. Nice. A little bit of a close game. Mainly I saw you being close to, oh, look, that's my recommended videos. And you know what I watch. In general, I saw you be, well, a bit too close to your teammate, I think, often. And then, well, missing stuff, but that's mechanical improvement that will need experience and a lot of training to improve. You can see my cursor, right? Yes, you can. Okay. So here, passing on your left, this is actually your teammate telling you that he will try to lose the kickoff towards the left side. So this is actually your teammate kind of telling you, go left, I will try to get the ball left. Now, I'm not saying you should trust your teammate with this. I'm just, well, trying to explain in case you didn't know that. Because I see you just drive kind of... I mean, you could kind of left, so fair enough. Here, actually, I don't even think you needed to be up the wall. Because if you go back, right here, well, kick off apparently. Right here, you see, okay, there's a bunch of motion blur, but you see your opponent here is not really going for the ball. I mean, here you can't see it anymore, but you can hear it. Like, if you listen, you can hear him leave. It's difficult in a video, and especially in a video of a video, I guess. But in-game, it should be clear that you can't hear the other engine anymore. So here, you don't even need to go up for this ball. Especially here, you can realize that there's no one really challenging you. If there's no one challenging this ball, you don't need to hit this. Because you hit it here and you try to flip, but that results in a very weak touch, is number one. You have 0 boost, so you can't do anything, is number 2. Your teammate also just came off of kickoff and still has no boost and is slow. Can't do anything either. So this is just a free ball for the opponent that did go and get boost. Now, your teammate gets beat, which is on him, I guess. But even if he would have gone back, this would have still been a goal. Like, there's nothing your teammate can do, there's nothing you can do. So here, hitting this ball off of the wall is a mistake, in my opinion. 2 mistakes in one. Like, the first one is, obviously, you need to hit the ball lower for it to go further. But that's a mechanical mistake, and I won't really talk too much about that because that's just training and getting better at such touches. But the second one is you flipping actually makes it that you are in the air for longer. Because as you know, a flip will reset your vertical momentum. So, for example, if you're in the air and you flip, you stay at that same height for a couple of seconds. While if you don't flip, you'll just fall down because of gravity, you know? So, if you don't flip, you'll actually fall faster and recover faster. So, you didn't need to flip into that, and you didn't even need to hit it in the first place. But that's a little bit of a situational awareness, being like, do I need to hit this ball? Do I not need to hit this ball? You're way too close to the kickoff though. If you're not on the kickoff here, you don't need to look. You basically use all your boost as if you were on kickoff. You don't need to because now you're very close. If this ball goes to your side, like let's say worst happens and Darkira here loses the kickoff in the worst possible way and it goes to your net, there's nothing you can do to react because you're way too close. Luckily, it spills out to the side and you're quicker than the opponent, so get this. This is a good pop past the second and you score off of it because the second opponent was also too close. Look, he was way too close in a position where he couldn't do anything. So, nice touch. Good counter attack. Decent kickoff. Although, I thought you mentioned being able to speed flip now and using that to win some kickoffs against champs. If you can speed flip, it's always the best, obviously, but you don't need to. What I will say though is this: you hit the ball too much on the side. In general, you would want to hit this ball more in the center, like one car width to the right here, like in the center. Then you can control where it goes because now it just kind of goes behind you and you didn't really have any control over it, but your opponent did. Your opponent has possession now, in theory. Here, I'm not sure if I like the amount of time and the timing of you turning off ball count. Because here, now we don't know what's happening. We still don't know. We still don't know. And now we know what's happening. For all we know, this opponent could have had the ball and would have been taking it to the goal. In that case, you don't want to pick up this boost or you don't want to go to the corner boost. If your opponent here has the ball, you want to take these small pads and go to net as quickly as possible. So, just like a quick interject in there. But yeah, here as well, it goes to the net, and because, like, similarly to what I said, you go for this corner boost, this takes a long time to go to the corner because you're just taking the long route, if you know what I mean. And by then, luckily they miss, but it could have been in your net. So instead of going for this big boost, or that big boost, which is both kind of far away from the net, you can take these small pads you see on the route. It's difficult to show you if I'm not in game, but these small pads, and then you're to the net, you're to your own goal quicker. You can defend quicker, although you will have a little bit less boost. But you don't always need 100 boost. Like I had a competitive game, like a league game, I think Sunday, so 2 days ago. And in my statistics there, it said that I was most of the time on between 25 to 75 boost. So usually in that range. Because that's enough boost to do anything you need. And that's it. Like you don't need to take detours to get extra boost. And you can still do anything you would need to do in a match. So just a thought exercise. Like you don't always need the 100 boost. They both miss. One is back though. I mean, yeah, there's as much you can do. Good. Yeah, here you don't need to speed up here to your teammate. Your teammate has possession. They have time to do whatever they want. Here, it's just your job to stay behind them. So if you just don't flip and just keep driving here, you'll be in a perfect position. Like here, behind. Because now you're kind of too close. What if your teammate misses and the ball goes to midfield? You're no longer in midfield. You're covering almost the same position that your teammate is covering. And in a team game, like in Team Rocket League, you're supposed to cover more space as a team and not like both take the same space, you know? Now, this is a difficult one. Like, obviously, it's your teammate. It's your teammate that makes a bad touch, similarly to you, like towards the beginning of the match. Makes a bad touch off the wall. You have 100 boost. What I would do in this situation is boost immediately forward, jump, and hit this ball as soon as I can. Because I'm closer to the ball, I think I can get here quicker. In your case, though, your aerials might not be as fast or not be as accurate as mine because, well, I have 3,300 hours. I've done quite a lot of practicing. It makes sense that I'm a bit better. But what you can do here is just wait on this touch. But when you flip like this, now you don't have any control. You can't jump for this. You can't challenge them. You also can't turn back because you flipped. You're just not in control. Now you're back in control. But look, your teammate was still floating in the air, and the ball is completely past both of you. If this opponent had any better of a touch, this could have been a goal very easily. So when you see your teammate go like this, you know they're up high, so they will come back slowly. Now you're the last man back. If you're the last man back, you cannot take risks. And this flip is a risk, a very big risk even. It's like a 99% risk. But yeah, you only have two options here. Either you jump for the ball immediately. Well, three options, I guess. Either you jump immediately, which is probably a little bit out of your skill right now, or you drive towards it and jump here to get a 50 out of this. Or when you see this, you turn back and you wait for the ball to come to you. That's the third option. In general, I would tend either the first or the third. The first one is what I would do if you're good at aerials and stuff and you're fast. The third is what I would do if I don't have confidence in my aerials. Then I would just go back and wait for them to mess up. And I would just defend the goal and wait for my teammate to come back to defense. So in your case, I would recommend just go back and defend there. But yeah, luckily your opponent messes up. And here you didn't need to jump. Maybe an accidental jump. But here you can clearly see your opponent is earlier to the ball. So you should just go back here. There's nothing you can do. If they are earlier to the ball than you are, then, well, you can't hit the ball before they do, so there's no use in you being there. In that case, just go back. Because you jumped here is a reason why God, that was not English, my bad. Because you jumped there, now you're quite far away from the defense, and your teammate is alone to defend. Instead, you could have been here, back post-ish, and been in net for whatever might come next. Yeah, you get the chance to rotate back here. Not sure what your teammate is trying to do. Maybe trying an air dribble or something? Not really successful. As I said earlier, like in the first playthrough, this is just training, I guess. Training those dribbles. You didn't need to jump here, you could have just slowed down and turned. But yeah, maybe the jump was accidental, I don't know. Okay, good try. That was a good decision, I think. The execution wasn't great, but whatever. Again, it's just training and experience. This, however, is you being too close to your teammate again. I get it. In my head, it also kind of feels okay to be this close, but this is no longer okay because now they touched it a little bit towards you, but you're so close that you don't have the time to react. So you react like this, which is an even worse touch. Luckily, your opponent is not in a position to punish you for it, but just if you're a little bit more behind here, you didn't need to boost even here. You didn't even need to boost here because now you're just too fast. But like, let's say you were a little bit more further back and you see this, you could have actually hit this quite far forward instead of just hitting it upwards or to the side just by staying a little bit more back. I'm not saying that you should be in your goal for the entire game, but just like a little bit further back. Like here, this is kind of a good distance. This is an okay distance. Okay. So I wouldn't recommend this though. I would recommend you go to the left side here to go back. Because staying here kind of makes that risk of you running into your teammate. Because let's say your teammate catches this ball, just right there, just stops the ball or hits it to the side towards where you are. If you now accidentally hit this ball, you hit it towards your own goal, and there's an opponent here ready to shoot at net later. So right here, there's very little positive things you can do. If anything, just go back on this side here. Because you see now the situation you are in a couple of seconds later, if you would have gone to this side on the right side here, you could have just turned smoothly and gone for this ball. You see? Instead of needing to turn 180 degrees. But it's fine. Nice patience. Look, I would have done the same. Waiting for this ball. I mean, I guess in hindsight, you see this guy, maybe you could have said like, oh, I see this guy, I need to go for this. But honestly, you don't. If he bumps you, the other opponent is kind of far away. Although your teammate is even more further away, so... But it works out. Like, I don't really see all too much wrong with waiting for that. Here, I don't know. Obviously, this was an open net, right? So there's one opponent here, there's one opponent here. Your teammate hits it there. This opponent is still here. If you are quick enough here, let's say you can speed flip this way, and you can catch up to this ball, you just have an open net, you know? I think that's kind of what you're trying here, but you're not using any boost. The speed flip is faster because you can flip and boost at the same time. That's the reason why a speed flip is fast. But if you don't boost, the speed flip doesn't really do anything differently than just a side flip or just a diagonal flip. But yeah, if you could have gotten there quicker, this might have been an open net. Sadly, the opponent is there first. This is the same thing though. Here you see this opponent is first to the ball. You're not gonna get there first. So just go back. There's no use in jumping for this ball if this guy is beating you to it anyway. Because they'll hit the ball before you are there, but if you jump, then you just jump in empty space like you do here. So keep going back. I see. So you have the right instinct, but too late. Right here, what would have been the best thing in theory, not always. In practice, you sometimes need to break rules to get a good play. But in theory, the best thing you can do here is go back post or to rotate past the net like this. Just wider here. If you go straight like this, you run the risk of them hitting the ball towards the net and then you're behind the ball and it's really difficult to defend from behind the ball. So you go here and then you're like, oh, this is annoying. And then your instinct says to go here. This is good, but you could have gone here immediately instead of going there and then turning around and turning around. You could have gone here immediately. You're again a little close to your teammate. In general, I would try. Here, you don't need to push into the same corner as everyone. Your teammate will be in the corner. Just trust him. And if he doesn't make a good play, then there's no harm done. But if you push into there and you both miss something, or one of you misses something and it turns out bad, then it's entirely possible for one of the opponents to hit it past you both and then counterattack on an empty goal. Instead, I would in this situation try to be around here, not further than this pad you see here. Like, I would try to be this far and no further. Here, I would try to go into midfield, maybe do some circles, do some 8 figures. But now you're very close, and it's very difficult to do something here. You do this, but you see, now it's past both of you. And in theory, your opponents have an empty goal. But they miss, so you get lucky there. And your teammate bails you out. Here, this is difficult. I guess this comes with experience, hitting this ball out. So I'll just not comment on that. Your teammate gets it though. So, all good. Good try to get it above that one. The boost, yeah. Good boom. It's a good touch. Here, this is a... I think you overcompensated. Right here, yeah. This is, I guess, also experience, knowing that this ball will bounce this way. Like, technically, it's just a straight line, you know? It'll bounce a little bit to the left outwards. But you go too much to the right, and then you need to flip left, but it doesn't go, or you don't flip quick enough, or like you flip too late or something. It's the timing was off. But in general, if you can avoid side flipping on shots, best thing you can do is diagonal flip on a shot and not side flip. But yeah, I guess you just misread this. Just practice, I guess. Your teammate gets a good 50. He says my bad though, but it was a good 50, so it's kind of funny. You shouldn't have gone for that, really. I don't know if I said this when I watched it the first time, but you can just stay back in net and wait for this because your teammate is technically already there for defending. It's kind of your teammate's fault for not doing anything here, but you should be the one to be back here. And or your teammate. Like one of you needs to be back, one of you needs to be on the ball. If your teammate is under the ball, just don't go. It's too much of a risk. Because yeah, no, you went, you missed, and it's in there. So. Let's skip this. Sure, you can take the boost. Okay. Reason why I said you can take the boost is if you take this boost, your opponent can't take the boost, and it's always better for you to have boost in your teammate, or it's better for you to have boost in your opponent to not have boost, you know. And also, there's no danger here. The ball is on the back wall here. They can't score from there. So if you just take the ball or take the boost, I'm misspeaking a lot. I'm sorry. You can just take the boost and either choose to hit the ball away or just wait in the net if you can't hit the ball again. Definitely don't side flip though, because then you just jump away from the ball. But again, that comes with experience and training. You seem to side flip a lot off the wall. Like, I keep saying experience and training, and it really just boils down to that, experience and training, but I can tell you that on the side wall, you don't need to side flip. Because if you're on a wall and you side flip, you just jump away from the wall. Good rotation, you can go, because your teammate should be behind you. He's not really, he's slow. Where's your teammate this entire... Oh, he jumped far, okay. I guess you can wait a little bit more then. But in theory, you should be first. In theory, you're the quickest here. But yeah. Again, just training to be a little bit quicker. It's a very good save though. And this is an even better save. So, congrats on that. Right, this. You should be careful with this, because your teammate is out of the play, right? It's only your two opponents and you defending. Let's say you boom this ball onto the wall. Where does it go? That's always the question. Where does the ball go if I do this? If you touch it here into the wall, and I'm saying into the wall itself, not on this curve, into the wall, then it will rebound back into the midfield and your opponents have a free shot. Now, you touch it like this. I'm not gonna say it was accidental or lucky or whatever. This is one of the better outcomes in this situation because the ball now goes up, and luckily you're in a skill level where no one really knows what to do when the ball goes up. Also, both of your opponents are gone, so this worked out really well, but you need to be really careful with hitting the ball into the wall like this, because it will always just come back to the midfielder. Even here, it goes up and it hits the corner of the ceiling, which means it also goes back into midfield. Not as hard, but it also goes into midfield, which makes it hard to defend. Just food for thought. It's important to not, you know, hit the ball into the wall like that. Like here you're at a good distance, right? Here you're at a perfect position for anything that happens. You can't go for this because your teammate is going, that's fine. He hits it and now you go in. Perfect. The execution on the shot could have been better, but for the rest, the positioning, the decision, perfect. The timing, also great. Just the shot itself needs some practice. And here, you're on the wrong side. As I think I said this before, like a little bit before, but when you're behind the ball like this, you can't really defend, you know? So really what you should do here is go the opposite way and go back post, like behind your teammate. Because if you keep going here, the only touch you really can make is across the net. And there's no point in doing that because your teammate is right there to, well, block anything that goes to the net. Like here, this is exactly what you're trying to do. A touch across the net, but your teammate is right there to hit this. So there's no use in your position. Where there would be a use for you to be is right here, behind your teammate. Because then you can support your teammate in anything he does. If he hits it, you can push up together with him. If he misses, you can take over. But right here, if your teammate hits it, you can't really do much. And if he misses, you're also not in a great spot to help, you know? See, this was good. Now you're in the net. You're not really back post, you're more front post, but it doesn't really matter. Your teammate loses here, loses the play, and you're here behind him to support him. This is great. Here again, classic example of you being behind your teammate and you can support him when it goes wrong. So that's why it's, and you score off of it even. Great. So that's just why it's important to be behind your teammate and not in front. And also behind the ball and not in front of it. Nice. And you win. Great. I'll stop the video here because it's already 38 minutes and that's crazy.